Jim Anderson joining us from the Wyoming Seminary Blue Knights football program here on the John Mendola Show at our Carol and Janelle in the Takeaway Kitchen. And Coach, let's talk about this season. And you guys right now having some success. You got one more game to go. Let's talk a little bit about how you feel your guys are playing this year.
Coming in, we lost 19 seniors and postgrads a year ago and had to replace, obviously, a PG group and a group of seniors that we had let go. So we had 2 short weeks for us to be able to evaluate talent. But what we did have an advantage of was, for me being in the school now for a year, going through the recruiting process on what players I felt would fit from a position standpoint, but also from a personal and academic fit, and the ability for them to be able to come here for a year, to be able to buy into the school, buy into the system, identifying their roles, being unselfish, which is a hard line for a PG that knows that they only have 10 weeks to be able to establish themselves for recruiters to be able to come on campus, which will begin for us here in the next couple of weeks. Long story short, we had some bumps in the road early. We are now currently at 4-3 and ready to play our last game at a prep school in Connecticut this coming Saturday.
Yeah, talk about the guys that have stepped up. Talk about as your year has gone along, and always the cream rises to the top. So who have been some of those players you felt that kind of get better and better every week, all the way into week 7 and now hopefully into week 8 as well?
Right around the 2nd or 3rd week, the difference for us this year is that we have playmakers. And for us to be able to identify who those playmakers are, one of our guests tonight is with us. His name is Prince Hall. He's from Jupiter, Florida. He's a tailback with us, but he's also a receiver. He's also a safety, can play outside linebacker for us. Rob Dwyer, who is a local product from Wyoming Valley West, has played every position at Valley West, and he's already played about every position in terms of with us here. Kyle Costello is a proven linebacker from Plains as a junior. Todd Phillips for us is a junior from Dallas who has played consistently at receiver and safety for us all year, and they've come to play. I think the big key for us and a big goal for me with the program was week 2 to be able to establish the culture in the weight room in the off season and during the season. We lost our 3 games last year, and I really felt it was because of a lack of weight room and weight room opportunity. That's one thing that we really wanted to change, and the guys have done a great job in terms of buying in, the demeanor in the weight room, and we think now that we're hitting our stride. Have currently won 3 in a row and looking to close it in terms of with potentially a 4th win this Saturday.
Let's talk about your coaching staff and the job that they've done with this group of guys as well.
Goal coming into the 2nd year for me was to retain the staff. Retain the staff, knowing that you're going to have players in the prep school culture that are going to come in and they're going to come out. You may only have them for 8 months. But consistency and message with the staff. Jim Norris is our associate head coach, offensive coordinator, coaches both our offense and defensive line. Keith Lothar, who spent 17 years with us at King's College. Joey Oliveri, who I coached and recruited as a linebacker from Pittston area. And Randy Granger, who has 26 years prep school coaching experience, all came back. And so the unspoken word for us, so we could really be able to learn about the kids. We felt that we needed to be able to spend a lot more time with the kids as individuals, and that's difficult to do in a prep school with the academic demands and so forth. But I think that's come a long way in terms of the position that we're in now. And obviously what they've done and the benefits that they brought to the program, and really thankful that they're there because they're a big part of the success we're having now.
It seems like a job when it's not fun. Let's talk about the fun, both from your perspective and from the guys' perspective, are they out there having some fun?
Like anything else, when you're winning, either practice gets more fun in terms of film gets more fun when you're able to see plays. But the key is to be able to teach them that's the work ethic that has to get us to the point for us to be able to enjoy it. And walking in and yesterday having a film session and lifting, and their attention today in a installation meeting, looking forward to this week. There's an urgency for us knowing that we have 1 week left, and it's great to see the urgency that they have as well.
Jim Anderson, always a pleasure to catch up with you. We wish you the very best in your final game coming up this weekend, and we look forward to talking to the guys.
Thanks for letting us be part of the program, John.
Prince Hall joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking Wyoming Seminary Blue Knights football. Prince, let's talk about, Coach mentioned you're a game changer, really athletic. Talk a little bit about what you have brought to this Wyoming Seminary football program.
You know, besides all of my awesome teammates, you know, I feel like I bring a different speed to the game when it comes to carrying the ball and accelerating downfield. And, you know, when I have to make blocks for my teammates, you know, I'm there to make those blocks, and they make the same for me. So it's kind of a mutual thing when it comes down to that.
Talk about Coach put you in one position, just say, hey, you're getting the ball here, or does he try to get you in some different spots and you try to make things happen?
Yeah, Coach just, he throwing me the ball, you know, I'm catching screens, I'm throwing the seams down the field. Obviously, I'm running the ball, but, you know, he put me wherever he need me at, you know, I feel like I show up and I show out. I do what I got to do with the ball in my hands.
He mentioned one of the things the guys brought into the weight room. Talk about your fitness level, what you try to do day in and day out, whether it's the weight room or doing some stuff on your own or running.
Right. So I typically do like 150 push-ups a night, and when we do go to the weight room, you know, I'm always smashing it, going hard, encouraging the younger guys, and, you know, just trying to keep a good spirit in there and make it more like a opportunity more than a chore to be in the weight room.
Good opportunity for these other guys of the team. Not everybody gets to meet people from all over the country. So you're from Florida. Talk a little bit about just getting to know some of these guys, and maybe you learned a little bit about them and their culture, but talk a little bit about what you're able to expose these guys to and some things you've seen growing up.
Okay, a lot of these guys are from Pennsylvania, like Robbie the Wire is from Kingston, Pennsylvania, I believe. Cooper Heisey is from New Jersey. Kyle Costello, he's from also Kingston, Pennsylvania. And so a lot of these guys came from different backgrounds. You know, they always asking me questions about alligators and fishing and in the ocean and stuff like that, and I'm always happy to tell them about it. And, you know, every time it get a little chilly outside, all the warm and hot jokes, they start flying at me. So, you know, it's cool. And then we also got a couple of foreign exchange students, like from I believe one of them are from Germany, Austria. So it's good just to be able to share my background with those guys and also be able to get background from them.
Let's talk about the folks back home, the people, your family, all the people in your hometown. Where did you grow up playing high school football, and who was out there cheering for you?
Okay, so I'm originally from Riviera Beach, Florida, and I ended up playing football at Jupiter High, but my mom is one of my biggest supporters that I have out there. You know, my grandma's another big supporter. I got a lot of uncles, I got a lot of aunts behind me, not to mention I'm actually the first one in my family to actually go to college and actually do something, you know what I'm saying, with themselves. So I also got a lot of pressure and expectations on me. You know, I just want to leave the right impression for my little brother, my little sister, all of my little cousins back home, you know what I'm saying, show them there's another way out, you know what I'm saying? You don't always got to do the wrong things to get where you want to be at. There's always another way. So
let's talk about the academics at Wyoming Seminary and be able to take on those. I've interviewed some other kids from teams this year, whether it was the golf team or the soccer team. Some of them are taking Russian or, you know, some kind of crazy computer class or some science class you could never hear of maybe at a regular high school. So for you, is it kind of been you know, a different experience, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a different experience in a positive way. You know, I came from a private Christian school where the academics were very challenging also, but I got used to that and I got on my stuff and I started doing what I had to do. So when I came here, you know, I wasn't expecting it to be like that, but it was actually a little bit more than that. But I feel like I made a great adjustment here. You know, I'm taking a math class called discrete math, and we're not even dealing with numbers, so it's a big surprise, big shock. But overall, I feel like it'll all work out for the better for me.
Sounds awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the next step for you. Any big visions? You want to be at this kind of school? You want to be down south, northeast? Doesn't matter.
So a big surprise to a lot of people, I actually don't want to go to school in Florida. You know, I'm trying to expand my horizons, trying to see the world, trying to see what's out there. But overall, I just honestly want to play, you know, Division I football at the next level. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a AA school or a Big Ten school, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm ready for either or, and whichever opportunity, you know what I'm saying, presents itself, and it's the smartest route for me to take, then that's the one I'm gonna take.
What are they getting when they get you? They're getting Prince Hall. What kind of work ethic do you have? Tell us a little selling tool for yourself as to what somebody's going to get when they get your services as a student and as an athlete.
Well, when you get Prince Hall, you get a lot of different things. You get a lot of positive emotion. You know, you get obviously the athleticism, but you got a very down-to-earth guy. You know what I'm saying? Very hard worker. Take my classroom work serious, take my on the field work very serious, but you know, I also know how to have fun, and I just feel like overall you're getting a born natural playmaker, a leader, and a hard worker in each and every spot.
That's all we can ask for.
Yes,
you
sir.
keep punching the clock, keep doing what you're doing, Prince. We wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Rob Dwyer is with us from Wyoming Seminary, and Rob, you played at Wyoming Valley West, had some success over there with the Spartans. What's the experience coming over to Wyoming Seminary been like, and meeting a whole new group of guys, having some different coaches, and playing some football for the Blue Knights?
Well, it's been a cool experience because, you know, I lived right down the street from Sem my whole life. So I never really knew when I was a little kid what school I was going to go to, Valley West or Sem. I ended up going to Valley West for my whole life. And then I came here as a PG. And it's just cool getting to play in a different uniform after being in the same uniform for however many years, you know. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Talk about academically and some of the challenges at Wyoming Seminary. Some big, interesting classes that you can take. But what has that been like? Have you felt like you've been pretty disciplined so far?
Definitely. The academics are definitely much more challenging, definitely much more strict. Like they're very serious about their academics here, which is going to help me a lot for college, definitely.
How about some of your teammates? Talk about some of the friendships you've developed. We know Prince is from Florida. You have another teammate from New Jersey. You got some Pennsylvania guys here, but guys from other countries as well.
Well, it's been cool because I'm used to knowing all the same guys. So this is kind of like a taste of what it's going to be like when I get to college, meeting a bunch of new kids. And you know, as soon as we all met, we all clicked really fast, and it was a great time. We've been having a great time the whole time we've been here.
Let's talk a little bit about the next step for you. What are you thinking? Do you have a list of 5 schools? Are you wide open thinking, hey, let me see how this all works out, where I want to go?
There's a few schools that I'm very interested in. You know, I have a lot of interest in certain schools, Division I single A schools that I'm really looking to go to. And we'll see how that goes at the end of the season. The recruiting process is about to speed up extremely quickly because, you know, we have one more game, and then that's when all the coaches are going to be coming in. So I'm excited.
Are you honed in on one position, or are you going as an athlete? Have you kind of made that decision yet, or are you kind of saying, listen, no, I want to go as this?
Anywhere they want to put me. I was recruited as an athlete last year. A lot of schools were looking at me as an athlete, but it's looking like at the highest level, like at Division I single A level, I'll be playing linebacker. That's most likely the position that I'll be playing. I'll play anywhere that they want me to, but I'm thinking linebacker is where I'm going to end up playing.
Let's talk about Coach Anderson and his style that he has. He's a regimented routine. You know, there's a lot of structure, a lot of consistency. He kind of has a certain way about him. What's that experience been like for you?
I liked it a lot because he's taught me so much about the position that I'm playing right now at free safety, and that's going to benefit me so much in college just from reads. And he's a very caring coach. He's about his players. He wants the best for his players. He cares about everyone except himself. It's been a great experience so far with him.
Let's talk about some important people in your life that support you, you look up to, and that have been there year in and year out, and day out, and kind of cheering you on and making sure you're doing what you need to do, whether it's in the classroom or on the football field.
Definitely my mom and dad, and they've been there for me my whole life. I could always go to them for anything. And my coach at Valley was Coach Keating. He definitely did a lot for me. He was a great coach to me, and I can't thank him enough. And if it weren't for him, I don't even know if I would be at SEM right now. He really told me that SEM would be a great thing for you, because he's had players do that before and it worked out great for them. So yeah, he definitely persuaded me a lot in this decision, and he's been there for me.
Well, Rob, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. One more game to go. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Cooper Heisey joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking about the Blue Knights football program. And Cooper, let's talk about your role on the team. Where does Coach have you playing?
Quarterback.
All right. Yeah. How about over any defense at all?
No, I play kick return. That's about it. But quarterback.
Let's talk about the arm and the legs. How much you doing with the legs, or you're mostly a pocket guy?
I mean, I'm mostly a pocket guy, but I can move when I need to, which is good. So.
Let's talk about some of those guys you get the ball to. Who are some of the athletes you like to get the ball over to?
Yeah, so Todd Phillips is a junior. He's got a couple touchdowns this year. Jason Kachowski, a PG, he's a big target. Rob Dwyer, Prince Hall, all of them are really good athletes. So it's easy for me they run great routes, get it to them. So.
What's your experience been like at SEM? Talk about, you come in to Wyoming Seminary and say, hey, I'm going to give this place a shot and see what it's like. What's it been like?
No, it's been really good. Everyone welcomes you with open arms. It's very difficult academically, so it was good preparation for college, obviously. And football-wise, I mean, we're winning this year, first winning season that we had in a decade, I believe. So it's been a really great start to the school year for sure.
Let's talk about your relationship with Coach Anderson. Obviously, being a quarterback, got to get to know him a lot more, maybe the average player, the ins and outs of that stuff. So what's he been like?
He's been really great. I mean, I committed super late in June and got here in August. So getting to know him really well, and Coach Norris as well, the offensive coordinator, they're great. They do anything for me, talk to college coaches for me, talk to me whenever I need, so it's really good.
Take us back to the high school days and what life was like playing high school football in New Jersey.
High school football in New Jersey is really good. It's tough football, North Jersey. I had a great head coach back home, Mark Cicatelli, so he really prepared me to go on and do what I need to do. So, I mean, New Jersey football is about as good as it could get, in my opinion. So.
How about some of the relationships you've developed here, or what's that experience been like?
It's been really cool. I mean, we've got Mario Klajic from Austria, Max Planck from Austria, Flo Roper from Germany, and then these dudes here, Rob Dwyer, all them. You're meeting people from all around the world, so it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's really good.
The next step for you, talk about what you'd like to do, where you'd like to go. Are you kind of wide open about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at whoever's looking at me, so I want to play college football, obviously the highest level possible, Division I level, and that's what I'm looking at right now.
As far as one more game left, talk about what you guys feel like you have to prove. You'd love to go to the 5-3 mark. Easier said than done. You guys are going to travel to Connecticut, but what is it about this team that you like right now at this point in the season, at the end of the year? You guys feel like you've grown a little bit?
I feel like we've grown up a lot. I think we got to prove that we could be a sound, disciplined football team. We got to limit the penalties a little bit, show coach that we're disciplined, we listen to what he says. So I think that's important for the last week and going forward. All right,
Cooper, we wish you the best of luck, and a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, too.
Kyle Costello joining us here on the John Mendola Show. He is from Wyoming Seminary. And Kyle, let's talk about your role on the team. Let's talk over on the defensive side of the ball, where you're playing linebacker. What's that experience been like for you?
I mean, I've been playing there since my freshman year when Coach Kelly was here. And then obviously there was a big change with the new coaching staff coming in my sophomore year. And I think it's actually worked out for the best with Coach Anderson coming in with his experience, like that's the knowledge of the position. And Coach Oliveri's really helped me do what I've been doing on that side of the ball.
Let's talk about some of the other linebackers around you and the relationship you have with those guys, and how you guys feel like you're playing as a unit.
I mean, our other middle linebackers, Owen Davis and Max Plank. Owen's a local kid from Hanover, and Max, he's from Austria. So it's completely different dynamic there. Max, he's vast football knowledge, his football IQ is through the roof. He's just had some trouble catching up to the game, which he's really starting to do. He's starting to play with more intensity, being more aggressive. And Owen, he's got a big wrestling background, very aggressive player, always willing to do whatever helps for the team, even willing to come out when he needs to. Both of those guys are really team players.
What's it like playing with a guy like Prince Hall? He's a pretty darn talented athlete from Florida. What's it like to get to know him, get to know a little bit about him, and then see him perform out there on the field?
I mean, Prince is a character like no other. His athletics, I mean, he's that spark we've been missing the last couple of years. It's nice to see, we go out and score our first drive, and on defense, we have that little cushion, a little bit of breathing room, and we got that energy from the touchdown. And on defense, he's a force too. I mean, always coming up throwing big hits. If it's not me or Rob Dwyer, it's him coming up. It's really nice to have more guys back there, especially with the athleticism he has.
You're a wrestler as well, you play football, so you're always involved athletically, you're hitting the gym, you're doing what you need to do. Talk about your love of working out and just kind of going after it. It pays off in the end when you're fit like you, and you kind of, do you eat it up, or there's some days you're like, man, this is a tough day, but I got to grind through it?
I mean, since July, I've been getting up at 5 o'clock every morning, going to work out at 6 a.m. before school, before practice. I mean, there's days where I really don't want to get out of bed, especially Monday mornings, and I'm still sore from the game, but I just tell myself, you got to do this even if you don't want to, because it's the days like this when you're feeling bad that you're going to make those gains, get yourself better, and prepare for that next level.
Let's talk about the support at home and what you get, and people coming out and cheering you on and making sure you're doing what you need to do academically and athletically.
I mean, my parents are really on me, both academically and athletically. Going to STEM was very different than being at public school. I mean, very much more challenging. I actually have to study, even the teachers are really more hands-on, so I get help from there. My dad especially, he's hard on me, he's pushing me, but I know he's doing it because he loves me and he wants to see the best for me.
About a subject you have, I talked to some of these other guys I was mentioning, whether it was a golf program or soccer program, somebody's taking a crazy class. Do you have any classes right now that's maybe a little out there or something that's a little challenging?
I mean, I take Russian, which isn't offered at the majority of these public schools. Just like a different dynamic. I mean, my teacher lived half his life in the Soviet Union and came over here, so just getting his side of things, hearing his perspective, it's really cool. And plus, learning that language, it's a whole different alphabet. So I mean, here, just learning new things about the culture, the language, it's pretty cool to experience.
Yeah, some of your classmates, both on the golf team and soccer team, really like Russian and like the teacher as well. So I guess you share some of those same interests. Coach Anderson, talk a little bit about his style as a coach. A little different than most coaches. He's he's got this way about him, but he's always a gentleman about it. So talk a little bit about what it's like playing for him.
I mean, Coach Anderson, he's hard on us, just like every other coach. The difference is he talks more than yelling, which really gets the point across to a lot of us. Because he's not just going to revert to just screaming at you because you did something. He's going to wait till probably about the 5th time you mess up to revert to that. He's really hands-on. He's talking to you, walking you through it, always willing to help. His office is always open, to stop in the middle of the school day if you have a free bell or something. So it's really nice. He's willing to draw it up on the board for you right then and there whenever you need him. So it's really nice.
How do you feel like you have grown and the team has grown this year? You're heading into week 8, final game of the season. You think that you guys have put it all together and pretty hopeful that this weekend you'll come out with a win up in Connecticut?
I mean, we're playing a good team in King and Low. They got some athletes, but I believe, and I believe everyone else believes, that our athletes are better than theirs. And our coach, I believe we're better coached. As long as we stay disciplined out on the field, I believe we'll come out on top and get Sam's first winning record in a long time.
All right, Kyle, well, nice to hear your story. We wish you the best. Continued success at Wyoming Seminary.
Thank you.